Good morning, all. Let's make some breakfast. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the vlog. It is I, and we are back. Normal background, normal circumstances. I'm just having some breakfast. It is a Saturday morning, and I am so excited to be back in our normal routine of things. It has been really great. We've been here for a little over a week now, but it's been amazing to go back into our regularly scheduled programming. If I'm a little all over the place for this intro, it's because I haven't had breakfast yet. I am notoriously one of those people that needs to eat something before they can do anything. And it is 9:15 right now in the morning and I have not eaten yet. And that is unheard of for me. So yeah, if I'm a little all over the place, like I said, that is why. Okay, don't be crazy. Don't be crazy. Proceeds to be crazy. No breakfast yet, so the first thing I wanted to do was definitely make breakfast. I'm a creature of habit and I don't like to cook, so once I find something that works for me food-wise, I tend to fixate on it for a really long time. So as you saw, this is Greek yogurt, hemp seeds, flaxseed, blueberries, and honey. When I find a meal that I like and that is good for me, I will fixate on it. So I'm not even joking when I tell you I've had this every morning for breakfast for probably a year plus. It is just my routine at this point and I really enjoy it and it's decent for me, so I just make it a part of my routine. It is currently a staple food group in my diet. Anyway, like I was saying, it is a Saturday morning here. We have a 3-day weekend because Monday is Labor Day. It kind of feels like a precursor to my birthday weekend, which is the weekend after this one. I'm looking forward to that. It being a 3-day weekend, first full weekend in the house with nobody coming through here to do work, unbothered, on our own, nice kind of weekend. So really looking forward to it. It's 9:15, 9:30 now. In a couple of hours, we're going to leave to go to Raleigh because we have our bi-monthly haircut appointment that we have with our hairstylist, Jess. I'm so excited to get my hair cut. I feel like my hair doesn't even feel, I have the tail out right now, ignoring that. I feel like my hair doesn't even feel short anymore. It's grown, I feel into a not bob anymore. So I definitely plan to do a more intense cut today. Basically right after our hair appointment last time, I had already expressed that I wanted to go shorter and that still holds true. I just want to really commit to it. And I think the tail is gonna go as well. I'm kind of over it. I don't feel like it really adds anything to my life. So I think I'm gonna let her go and just have everything one length. So Emily and I both will get our hair done today. And then after that, I don't really know what we have planned. We're still in the settling phase of moving back into the house. So I assume some unpacking will ensue, nesting, those kinds of fun things, all the tedious but necessary work that happens when you move back into your house. Other than that, I would like to work on my quilt today. I have not touched it since we moved back in and I'm feeling like I need to move some things around because it's just not clicking. I've worked more on it since I showed you in the last vlog, but there's just some things I need to move around on it. I've been kind of sitting on that for a couple days, thinking about what I would like to do, so I'm gonna work on that today. And otherwise, I hope to spend some time outside, hang out with Zippy Girl. It's really nice here right now. It's 70s, 80s all week, and after a brutal summer, that is just so welcome in our book. Like, it is just so nice and refreshing. I have some reading updates to give you, as well as establishing my September TBR. I have some plants I need to repot because I got some plants before the flooding situation happened, and then I got a couple plants during the flooding situation, as one does. And yes, because we had to move every living thing out of our house for the mold abatement, that means all the spiders and the plants had to move out of our house into our Airbnb. I'm so grateful that each time we were in an Airbnb, it was one with several bedrooms, because we often had a bedroom for ourselves, one for Eunice, and then one for all the plants and the spiders, and it looked like this. So yes, that was kind of tedious. The orchids did not survive, unfortunately, just because the plants were in the house unattended without AC, and it was like 100 degrees for several days in a row. So the time that they were in the house, the orchids just shriveled up. They did not fare well for that, but everything else seems to be okay or has bounced back. So I want to do some repottings, just because I haven't repotted most of these smaller plants since I've gotten them. They're all Hoyas, if I didn't mention that already, because I'm rekindling my love for Hoyas again. So they're all pretty small Hoyas, but I do want to repot them. And I think that's kind of all I have on the docket for now. So we'll see what happens as the weekend unfolds. But again, so happy to be back in the swing of things, to be back in our space. Like, I can't even describe still how nice it is to be back in our own space and be back with our own routines. Like, just waking up and going to work, taking care of the dog, like taking care of the tortoise and his enclosure. It's all just really, never take it for granted.
Eunice let me pet him.
Oh, wow.
I had to scratch his butt first for tax, but then I got to pet his head.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. I think that's all I have for a vlog intro morning update for right now. So I will cut to the next one when we are going to see Jess. And I actually just got an email from Etsy from her that she sent me a birthday gift, which, like, so cute and kismet that I was talking about her, and now we're texting about the gift that she sent me on Etsy. So sweet. I can't wait to see her. She just, like, fills my cup up every time we get to spend time with her. She's really such a gem of a human. So yeah, I can't wait to see her. Okay, I will see you in the next clip. I'm gonna finish my breakfast here because I have eaten a lot of it, but not all of it. And I need to finish getting ready so we can go. So I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, happy Monday. Welcome back to the vlog. I'm just checking in after we had touched base on Saturday. It is now Monday, like I said. The last thing you saw from me is that I was getting my hair cut with Jess and my camera battery died. We will see what I found from that footage to make magic with. I haven't started editing yet. I think I might do that tonight or tomorrow night, but we will see what happens there. After that haircut appointment, Zippy, Emily, and I were all exhausted and we just kind of rested the rest of Saturday. Yesterday, Sunday, it's my favorite day of the week. I usually like to get down with my spiritual self on Sundays, and I did that and did not feel in the spirit to film, so I did not. Now it is Monday and we have not talked since then. Here is a little hair update. I washed it for the first time this morning and I was a little scared. Like, I trust Jess with my life and I know she wouldn't ever give me like a bad haircut, but I was a little bit scared this morning because I let it air dry and I definitely looked like coconut head, like so coconut head. As so, a little scared, but alas, I styled it and I love it. It looks really cute. It's very Frenchy, which is what I was looking for this time around because I was a little nervous to go this short when we first cut my hair 2 months ago, but now I was feeling brave and took the plunge and I'm glad I did. By the time we went to our haircut appointment on Saturday, I felt like my hair wasn't even short anymore. So I am very excited to sport this and see what cute things I can do with it. But yeah, really enjoying it so far. Since it is Labor Day, Emily and I met with another friend of ours that's in the Seeing Eye Dog program. She also raises dogs too. She's like practically an expert at this point. We really leaned on her a lot in the beginning for resources, for help, just friendship, community, all those kinds of things. And we've stayed really close with her over the past year that we've been involved with this program. So she has a new puppy named Grover and he is so cute. He's so cute. We met up with her and Zippy and we did some training together. It's really great practice for the dogs to be out in public with other dogs, especially ones in their program, because we can really use that as an opportunity to educate people or meet people that might be interested or just want to talk to us, because we are very approachable with really cute black lab puppies. So that was really fun. We all tired ourselves out. We were only there for about an hour, but it is crazy how much energy it takes to train a dog, or just to be like actively training with the dog. When the dog is working and you're working with the dog, it's very mentally taxing and exhausting. So Emily and I took a little break and now we are back and I'm going to do some filming this afternoon because I wanted to film quite a bit this weekend and I have not quite done so. I have a couple things I want to get done today. First being, I really want to repot some plants that I'm looking at here that you're sitting right next to. I mentioned on Saturday that I had gotten some more Hoya recently, not only before the flooding happened, but during the flooding incident as well, because, emotional spending and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely have a few more plants that I need to repot, and I've been waiting for them to be on the drier side before repotting them. So I have 5 Hoya. Jeez Louise. 5 Hoya that I need to repot. I want to do that downstairs. I have some Molly's mix and I've heard nothing but great things about it and I figured I would try it. And I used the Molly's mix for this intervariegated Hoya compacta that I got. I did kind of spoil myself with this plant. This plant is a little dusty, a little dirty, but yeah, you can see I used it in there. It seems to be holding moisture pretty well while also letting the roots breathe, which is the whole point of the Molly's mix and why I think it makes such a great soil for Hoya, or at least so I've heard. I got some of that and I plan to use it for all of these Hoya that I have in front of me. So we're gonna do that first. And then the other big thing I wanna do this afternoon is I want to unpack my books and put them on my bookshelf because my bookshelf is ready to go. I had a whole saga in the last vlog of trying to find a bookshelf secondhand. It didn't work out. I got one new. And now it is ready because I had to do some prep work for it first. And now it is ready to house my books. So I need to do that. And I think that's going to be more of like a B-roll situation just because that area of our living room is a little bit cramped and it also is dark at this part of the day. We really only get great light in our living room in the morning, and then after that it's like a moody, cozy living room and not so much like a bright daylight living room. And then I also got a little rolling cart book station for my bedside. Been wanting to get one of these for a little bit just because I love to have something to reference before going to bed. I often am like brewing on ideas for art or thinking about magic and spiritual things and reading in general. So I thought it'd be a good idea to have just like a cart of reference materials or books that are on my TBR, things of that nature, just because I would love to, instead of ever having an excuse to scroll on my phone before bed, just to grab a reference book to look at references for things, or to like learn about a different quilt block that I haven't done yet, or to learn about the art of manipulating fabrics. I have that book, and that book is like a legendary book in the fiber space, but I haven't read it because I just don't have time to like sit down and read it and reference it. So I thought that would be kind of a good idea. The cart is here. I need to build it, and then we need to put books on it. So I figured we could do that today too. I don't know if that is going to be too ambitious for one afternoon. I do have a cup of tea that I have cooling behind me that I just put down, but I will drink that, and that will be like my, what did he eat? Popeye, what did he eat? It'll be like my spinach, I guess. I think that's what he ate, spinach. Made him really strong. I'm hoping that has a similar effect to me and that we can get that all done. Yeah, I think that is all I have to say at the moment. I do have some reading updates to give you, as well as Aardvark book club updates, but I think I will hold off on doing that for another day this week. There's no need to onslaught you with information straight out of the get-go. We do have all week to film. So I'm going to get started with moving these plants downstairs and getting a little station set up in our dining room. Yeah, let's go ahead and repot these plants, and then we will carry on with the book-related activities afterwards. Hi, it is me attempting a voiceover. This is my first time doing this. But hi, oh my gosh, voiceover time. I thought it would be fun to record a voiceover for this section of the video where there isn't any other audio otherwise. And also, I am trying to learn something new with every vlog that I make in my editing software, because I think it's a good idea to just keep going and keep progressing and keep learning. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I often get tongue-tied, and I've already tried recording this 5-second portion like 5 times. So I guess what I'm saying is to just please be patient with me, but we will get through this together, and I think we'll have fun while we're doing it. But anyways, as I've mentioned previously, I have been having a good time re-establishing my plant collection. Back in the day when I lived in Minnesota, my apartment was an absolute jungle, and I had so much personal fulfillment out of doing that. But there is something about a cross-country trip that does not fare well for plants. So when I moved here to North Carolina in 2020, I lost a majority of my plants, and then I received a kitten named Graves, and he made it almost impossible for me to have any plants that I could trust around him. And even if they were plant safe, he would destroy them to no avail. So I have not had plants for the last couple of years, but it feels like I'm getting back in touch with a part of myself that I have been missing or longing for with this new little journey of replenishing my collection in my office. And I just want to say too, this didn't happen overnight. In the house, we have plants scattered around, but they're always in high places where Graves cannot reach them. And they tend to be a certain type of plant, like a pothos or a philodendron, Brazil, for example, very specific plants that we can hang and have out of harm's way. And with becoming more involved with my plants, I have come to have a lot more questions. For example, this Hoya is a Hoya Wilbur Graves, and I have just been struggling with it since I got it. I've lost 3 leaves, and I think you just saw another leaf fall off of it. I can't seem to make it happy, so I'm hoping this repot really does something for it. I feel like I'm either overwatering it, underwatering it. I really don't know, because 2 times I watered it, it lost a leaf each time. And then this time I let it dry out completely and I still lost a leaf. I mean, it looks good, right? It looks good, but it's losing leaves. I don't understand. If anyone has any advice, I'm always an open ear, so I would gladly take anything. But I'm also keeping in mind too that these plants have been moving from place to place, back and forth. Like, not only did they ship to me, they've moved from my house to an Airbnb, back to my house. So they've definitely been through a little bit of a shuffle since they've been in my care, but I'm hoping now too that with things being back to normal, they will have a chance to establish themselves. Okay, I have a question about this one too. So I picked this one up at my local nursery, and it just said assorted Hoya, which I know is a thing. what kind of Hoya is this? I don't think it's a regular Hoya because the leaves are so long and narrow, and there's also a little bit of splash on the plant. I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say it's a Hoya pubicalyx. That's of some variety, but really unsure. If you know, please let me know. If you haven't already guessed, Hoya is definitely my favorite variety of plant. It always has been. I love all the different shapes and sizes and colorways that they come in, and their thick, waxy leaves. They are just always a favorite, always classic. And I have had a lot of fun collecting different varieties. It's just so crazy to me how from every Hoya plant they can each look so different. Like the root systems are different, the leaf shapes are different. Like I just am so amazed by them. But the fact that they have the common thread of all being Hoya too is just, I don't know. I get very inspired by these Hoyas. I love them. And I don't know if you've noticed, but this Hoya Mathilde, when I bought it, it came with a little dried up peduncle. So this is my first time having a peduncle. We will see if it flowers next year with the right care. Hopefully we can get it to flower. I've never had a Hoya flower ever in my time, but I also have not had the chance to have Hoyas for years and years and years. So we will see how this goes. I have my fingers and toes crossed. All right, and this is the last Hoya we need to repot. This is the rotundiflora that I purchased in the last vlog, I believed. I got it from the plant shop in Raleigh. Listen, I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but if I had to pick any of them, this might be the one. I'm obsessed with the shapes of these leaves. They kind of remind me of little peanuts, and they are just so thick and dark green. I am obsessed. I'm in love. It's also important to note too that with all of the moves and everything with this one, it has not put up any kind of signs of stress or any kind of difficulties. It has just been so easygoing, and I'm excited to watch this one grow and see what it, eventually develops into. Okay, now that everybody has been repotted, it is time to water. And like I mentioned in the last segment, I did let these guys dry out just because I wanted to give them a thorough water and I didn't want them to risk being overwatered. This is my first time using Fox Farm Big Bloom. I've heard really great things about it, so I'm excited to see how the plants react to it. The color is a little off-putting. I was like, what is that? Looks like gravy, but alas, that does not matter. It just matters if the plants enjoy it. So here's a little watering segment. I love watering my plants. I don't overwater them at all. And that was sarcasm, if you couldn't tell. And what is a replanting segment without some cute dog footage? This was just after I had repotted everything. I was playing out in the backyard with Zippy, so I wanted to show she's so cute. Look at her go. I love how she drops her toys. She just goes, pleh, and spits them out. It's so sweet. We've worked really hard on dropping our toys when asked. So yeah, I just wanted to include that. But thank you for tagging along with me in this voiceover segment. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Good morning, everybody. It is a ripe 6 a.m. here in the studio, and it is a Wednesday morning. I can't believe it's only Wednesday. I keep thinking it's like already the weekend. I don't know what it is with this week, but I'm just like my rhythm is like totally off. I just don't even know what is up and down at this point. But happy Wednesday. I just wanted to hop on this morning to discuss books for this week because when I was redoing my bookshelf in my living room, I had noticed that I had not yet opened my Aardvark book club box for August, and it is now September, and I've already gotten another box and it's on the way. So I figure we should open that now. In addition to just discussing the book picks for August, I also wanted to talk about how I'm feeling about Aardvark so far, and then also my September TBR. We're officially launching a TBR segment in the vlogs just to hold myself accountable for what I want to read, set some goals, nothing major. I'm not gonna be reading like 10 books a month, that's just not my style, but I do also want to set goals for myself in terms of like how much I'm reading, because I think having a goal will like keep me focused, enjoy reading so much, and making it a priority like this is something that's important to me to keep doing. So I ended up reading 3 books again last month, which I don't think is going to be an every month scenario. It just happened to be last month. One of the titles I'm particularly excited for, so let's go ahead and open this puppy up. No pun intended for the book that I'm excited for. Okay, and we have the one that I'm really excited for right on top here. Remember the last time I was discussing Aardvark books for the month of July, I was talking about Blood on Her Tongue and how the book cover resembled something that I feel like I had seen previously and that I was really excited about. So I had actually confused that cover with this one. I remember seeing the cover and synopsis for this book about a year ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds so good, but like, am I even gonna remember this in a year? Like, am I gonna remember to think about it in a year when it comes out? And sure enough, I did, because thankfully Aardvark had it on their monthly picks this month, or this past month for August. This is The Hounding by Kenobi Purvis, and oh my god, I'm so excited. This is definitely gonna be a priority to read. It gives like historic fiction energy. It's about, I think, 3 sisters or 3 girls in a village, and this village suspects that they're like kind of like transforming into dogs at night and going on a bunch of horrific adventures. I love weird horror, weird fiction, also dogs, like hello. So really excited about this one. I am also realizing now that this is an X and not a K, so I believe it's Zenobi. It's also not a very big book either, so I think this will be a good fall read for sure. So this is The Hounding. Next we have What Hunger by Katherine Dang. And admittedly, I don't know a lot about this book, but I'll just read the last sentence here. I feel like that kind of summarizes things up pretty well. What Hunger is a visceral, emotional journey through the bursts and pitfalls of female rage. Ronnie's Vietnamese lineage and her mother's emotional memory play a crucial role in this tender ode to generational trauma and mother-daughter bonding. Oh, so that's really beautiful. So I know this is a horror. I know it's kind of like a weird fiction. I know it centers around a girl and it discusses her Vietnamese lineage, family history, how that kind of plays into the present. Obviously, based on the cover, there's like a hunger vibe. And I'm not sure what that means. So this book has a lot of mysteries for me, but I was excited to add it to the shelf. I'm hoping it's a beautiful book and a beautiful story that not only gives me a little bit of perspective on family history other than mine, but also gives me a good spook too, with it being kind of a horror. So yeah, this is What Hunger by Katherine Dang. And then lastly, I have The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. So we're very horror heavy this month, but I've heard nothing but great things about this book. I do have The Only Good Indians as well on my shelf downstairs. I have not read it, and I'm wondering if I need to read that first to kind of get like a taste for the author and then jump into this one. Yeah, this one has great reviews. The insert here is actually pretty short, so let me go ahead and read that. This chilling historical novel is set in the Nanset days of the state of Montana, following a Blackfeet Indian named Good Stab as he haunts the fields of the Blackfeet Nation looking for justice. It begins when a diary written in 1912 by a Lutheran pastor is discovered within a wall in 2012. What is unveiled is a slow massacre, a nearly forgotten chain of events that goes back to 217 Blackfeet dead in the snow, told in the transcribed interviews with Good Stab, who shares the narrative of his peculiar and naturally long life over a series of confessional visits. This is an American Indian revenge story, captured in the vivid voices of the time by one of the new masters of literary horror, Stephen Graham Jones. So very clearly another historical fiction type vibe, and I have learned that I really enjoy historical fiction, which is funny because growing up, I did not vibe with history very well. History was just not my strong suit. I could never remember anything. Dates are so lost to me. So finding an avenue to enjoy history, as in through historical fiction, has been really fun for me. I think this might be kind of a fun winter read. We don't get a lot of snow here in North Carolina, but it talks about a massacre happening in the winter. So I think keeping that in mind and maybe saving this for the end of the year would be really nice. So let me know if I need to read The Only Good Indians first to kind of get like a taste for Stephen Graham Jones, or if I can just hop into this. But it might be fun to do like a back-to-back thing. We got things to think about. But here are the little bookmarks for this month. They're very cute. So it's like a little checkerboard with the blue on top. Honestly, did not use the bookmarks that I got last month, but I will make an effort to use the bookmarks. I will put a bookmark in each book, so I actually use the bookmarks this month. Very cute color story. I actually got a phone case that's like very similar to this, so that's kind of interesting. And then so far too, just my thoughts on Aardvark. I am really enjoying it. I think it's giving me some access to books that I normally wouldn't hear about or may not be in my immediate sphere. I did not anticipate that I would get books for this month just because I have not been paying attention to Aardvark's socials or like what was being released or the hints they released at all for the month of August for September because of everything that was going on in my personal life. I just like wasn't, it just like wasn't on my radar. But on September 1st, I did get that email notification that they released their book picks, so I went and checked it out, and I was actually pleasantly surprised and found 2 books that really interested me. So I went ahead and snagged those, and I will discuss them when they get here, but I picked You Were Meant to Be Human by Andrew Joseph White and Coffin Moon by Keith Rawson. Yeah, we will uncover that box when it gets here, but again, overall, I'm loving Aardvark so far. I think for what you're getting in the box and the quality of the books that you're getting, hardcovers of course too, I think it's a really good deal if you're an avid book reader or you're just wanting exposure to like different niche books. I think it's a book club box that really caters to a specific type of audience, and luckily I am that audience, but I can see how it might not be for everybody. So far I'm really enjoying the experience. I definitely want to keep my subscription going, and that is kind of my thoughts on Aardvark Book Club. But next I would love to discuss my September TBR because I have already gotten started on it. It's currently the 3rd day of September and I started it a couple days before, so we're already on a good track. This first book is a little bit out of my wheelhouse, my typical wheelhouse, and I wasn't sure if I was actually going to read it. And I honestly was a little hesitant to pick this one up just because it is so not my typical, but I've heard really great things about it. And what actually tipped me over the edge to read this was my friend Kitty from Spicy Cats Reads here on YouTube. She discussed it in her most recent reading vlog and she really enjoyed it, so I was like, okay, this is going to be my sign to go ahead and dive in. And that book is Dungeon Crawl
Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. And this is like a sci-fi tech kind of novel. It's a whole series, which I didn't realize too until I like started it. And then I saw that there was like 7 or 8 more books after this one, so I was like, oh gosh, what am I getting myself into? This book is about our main character Carl, and he is essentially thrown into an apocalypse that he did not sign up for. I mean, who signs up for an apocalypse? But he is essentially given the choice to either try and survive on Earth or go into this dungeon below the ground and participate in these games to try and survive. And he of course chooses the game route. So it's about him and his journey through this system of dungeons and games. And it's very much like video game setup. And I am not a gamer by any means, but I do have an affinity for one video game, one RPG, and that is Skyrim. I definitely am like using some of my Skyrim brain while I'm reading this because of the lingo and the way the game is set up and inventory and stat and leveling up, all those kinds of things. I did get this on my Kindle and Audible because it's a really thick book and I want to give myself the greatest chance to like get invested in it as possible, and Audible really does help me. I do love a good audiobook. I am halfway through and I am thoroughly enjoying it so far. It is so out of my wheelhouse, but it's just like campy and kitschy enough to like really get me interested, and I really appreciate the kitschiness of it, and the writing is really well done. It's like very immersive, and how it bounces back from like video game speak to character speak is really well executed, I think. There's also a character called Princess Donut who's a speaking cat. That's not my ultimate dream, like I don't know what is. You can tell they put a lot of thought and consideration when making this audiobook. The voice actor, Jeff Hayes, I cannot get over it. He sounds so much like Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. I don't know if anyone else thinks that or is like connected that, but I honestly feel like it's Kronk narrating this book for me, which has been an unexpected part of the experience, but one that I'm not unhappy about. Next on the list for my TBR is something we've already discussed. It's The Hounding, and like I said previously, this is a really highly anticipated read for me, so I wanted to make sure that I read it almost immediately. It's my birthday month. It's the changing of the season. I think this will be such a great vibe for that. Highly anticipated read for me. I am so excited about this one. I think with changing of the seasons, it being my birthday month, just the vibes in general for fall, I think this will be a great, like, atmospheric, spooky, and I just wanted to have something that was, like, very highly anticipated for my September reads, just because it is my birthday month. Want to treat myself to something fun and exciting. The Hounding is next on my list, and I probably will read this one directly after Dungeon Crawler Carl because I am so excited about it. And then last for my TBR for September, I was looking at my bookshelves and wanted to pick something that had been sitting there for a little bit, something that had been kind of collecting dust metaphorically. So I was looking at that, and I also wanted to stay in the spooky realm as we are entering into the fall time. October is next month, so it's definitely going to be a time for spooky atmospheric reads. And so I actually picked up this one. This is The Witch's Trinity by Erica Mailman. I have not heard anybody talk about this book. I don't know anyone who's read it, but it has been on my bookshelf for a minute, and I actually picked this up months ago from thrift books. I had picked up a couple different books, and this one was like recommended kind of in the sphere of what I was buying. I'll just read the back for this one just because, again, I don't really think this is like a well-known book or something that somebody talks about. If I'm totally wrong on this, let me know, but I haven't heard anybody talk about it. The year is 1507. The severe famine strikes a small town in Germany. Friar arrives from a large city claiming that the town is under the spell of witches in league with the devil. He brings with him a book called the Malleus Maleficarium, The Witch's Hammer, i.e. It is a guide to gaining confessions of witchcraft. The friar promises he will identify the guilty woman who has brought God's anger upon the town, burn her, and restore bounty. The elderly Gud Muller suffers stark and frightening visions. None in the village knows this, and Gud herself worries that the sharpness of her mind has begun to fade. Yet of one thing she is absolutely certain: she has become an object of scorn and a burden to her son's wife. In these desperate times, her daughter-in-law would prefer one less hungry mouth at the family table. As the friar turns his eye on each member of the tiny community, Gud dreads what her daughter-in-law might say to win his favor, and that her secret visions will be revealed. So yet another historical novel. I think this will fit really nice with The Hounding. It definitely gives like a witch hunt type vibe, and I mean, going into the fall time in October, I guess it's pretty fitting. I also think it's worth mentioning that one of my favorite avenues of horror is the good for her horror. Think of things like The Love Witch, Midsummer, The Witch, Jennifer's Body, like that niche part of horror. I think that we got a couple of good contenders for that here. I think 3 books is a good place to start for me because I do have a lot going on this month. It'll keep me challenged. It'll be, I think, an attainable goal, nothing too crazy, and then we can kind of build off of that next month to see where we go from there. If we add more books if we stay with 3. I don't want to just like load on books and then feel disappointed at the end of the month when I don't read as much as I want or when I don't read as much as I hope that I would have. So I think this is a good attainable goal. I appreciate you for listening to me about books. Again, this is really fun for me to talk about books. I am interested to see how I edit this because I'm definitely sleepy and I've been recording for almost an hour and my brain and mouth are not really connecting right now. As the rest of the day goes, we have puppy class with Zippy tonight, so I will be doing that and then hopefully doing some editing before bed. We do get back from class pretty late, but I would like to keep on top of editing because I'm really trying to edit as I go. This is the first vlog where I'm really truly trying to do this and see if it makes a difference for my editing schedule because I don't know. I am still just very slow at editing and I know that I will get better with time, but it just takes me a bit of time to get through it. I want to get some editing done before bed. I'll feel very accomplished if I do that. Then we'll just carry on with the rest of the week. We're halfway through. Thank you so much for being here for this part. I will talk to you very soon. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.
Zippy, where's your toy?
Good girl. Yes, good girl. Yes. Out. Sit. Ready? Oh, what a good girl. What a good girl. Yes. Okay. Out. Sit. Good girl. Ready? Go get it. Oh, good girl. Yeah. That's a good girl. What a good girl.
Good morning vlog. Happy Friday. It is just after 8 a.m. here and I am just checking in to sign off to end this vlog. The sun is reaching the back corners of the backyard at this current time. I'm enjoying my second cup of tea. I just wanted to check in and round out the vlog. This week was definitely more of a nesting week than I think I anticipated. It was a busy week with a shortened week of work, being that we were off on Monday, Zippy having puppy class on Wednesday, and then me just trying to get caught up on editing. So I did a lot of nesting things like you saw earlier this week, but not much art has been made and not much reading has been done. But yeah, no quilting has been done, unfortunately, and I definitely want to change that for next week's vlog. I want it to be almost all sewing, hopefully. Fingers crossed we can actually prioritize that and keep that on schedule because I need to keep moving on this quilt. I have so many ideas that I just need to get down on the fabric and I don't want to lose them. I need to work on that this week, and this weekend is my birthday in 2 days, and I got an early birthday present from Emily last night. She got me a GoPro, which I am so excited about. I offhandedly mentioned wanting to save up for one, and then yesterday I unwrapped it and I had one, so it was very sweet. She's a great listener, and she wanted to give it to me early so we could film with it this weekend. She knows how much I enjoy making these vlogs, and bringing this camera around, even though it is a point and shoot camera, is a little bit cumbersome in public, so that's my goal or use for the GoPro, is to bring it out in public. So I'm excited to play with that. I just unboxed it. I haven't plugged it in, turned it on, nothing. I really don't know a lot about it in regards to like the specs and how to use it to its full functionality, but I'm super excited to play and learn. I love to learn. I'm always a student. As far as other weekend plans go, quilting is the main objective for sure, but we also have a birthday lunch tomorrow on Saturday with some good friends of ours. We're doing hot pot vegan style, so that's gonna be super delicious. I can't wait to go to that and see them. And on Sunday, my actual birthday, Emily and I are going to high tea. It was supposed to be a surprise, but of course I ruined my surprise as I usually always do with this kind of stuff. But yeah, we get to get dressed up and have high tea, and that'll be a really great birthday afternoon activity. Otherwise, we don't really have much planned. I imagine I will just hang around the house, do some more nesting, some more sewing. You know how it goes. I did wish for rain on my birthday, so we will see if that happens on Sunday. I don't know if it's even forecasted, but I said last night, like, My birthday wish is to have rain. Thank you guys so much for joining me this week in my life. I am looking forward to spending more time with you in the next few days. And then also next week we have some fun stuff planned too outside of birthday festivities. So it should be a fun vlog. I'm hoping it's a really fun week, but I cannot wait to bring you along and show you then. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now. Zippy and I are gonna enjoy the rest of our morning and our day of restfully working, I suppose. And she says she wants to see you in the next vlog, so you better be there. I will see you in the next one. Again, thank you so much for being here. I really love this little hobby of mine. I'm gonna go. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. I hope you're taking care, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.